Related to the Gonzales hearing, there is a video making the rounds across the internet calling for the impeachment of the Attorney General. The video was the most viewed clip on YouTube yesterday, and here to talk about it is director Robert Greenwald, who put together the video, which is also posted on his website, impeachgonzales.org. But first, let's take a look at that video. Okay, apparently we don't have that, but we do have Robert Greenwald with us here to talk about it. Robert, for those of us who actually wanted to see it, I had a chance to earlier, tell us what's the main point of impeachgonzales.org? What do you show in that video?
Well, we show that Gonzales' testimony, in which he clearly, for anybody who can look and see, refuses to answer the question, decides he can't remember anything. And it's truly an embarrassment that somebody at the highest legal office of our land should be so breaking the laws by not giving us the answers that we should get and we deserve to get. And therefore we felt, and it was news to me, I just discovered this 2 weeks ago, that in fact the House of Representatives can begin impeachment hearings against the cabinet officer. So there's something we can do. And the video at impeachgonzales.org, we've had over 42,000 people sign the petition, which we will be delivering to House members with our partners at Democracy for America, saying begin impeachment.
Okay, I want to talk to you about that, too, because there are very specific rules for impeachment, as I'm sure you're well aware. But we do have that video, so let's take a look.
The Attorney General went up and gave a very candid assessment.
Was not involved in seeing any memos, was not involved in any discussions about what was going on.
Candid assessment.
When I said on March 13th that I wasn't involved, what I meant was that I have not been involved, was not involved in the deliberations.
And answered every question he could possibly answer.
I don't recall specifically.
Every question.
I don't recall the content.
Honestly answered.
I don't recall remembering.
Every question.
I have searched my memory.
Some senators didn't like his explanation, but he answered as honestly as he could.
I don't think you're going to win a debate.
Mr. Attorney General, most of this is a stretch.
In light of the fact that you had so little to do with the decisions and made so little effort to understand.
I had everything to do with the decision. It was my decision.
Some senators didn't like his explanation.
You don't recall the November 27 meeting where you made the decision.
Sir, I don't know that a decision was made at that meeting.
Well, how can you be sure you made the decision?
Senator, I recall making the decision I recall making the decision.
When?
Sir, I don't recall when the decision was made.
This is an honest, honorable man in whom I have confidence.
It was handled incompetently. The communication was atrocious. And I believe the best way to put this behind us is your resignation.
Those are some pretty harsh charges there. Perjury, obstruction of justice. We do know that certain people within even the own Republican Party, his own Republican Party, are saying he should resign. But that's a much different issue than the impeachment. And as I'm sure you're aware, it's treason, bribery, or high crimes and misdemeanors. And even when Clinton was facing impeachment, Democrats said perjury doesn't fall into that category. So what specifically do you believe is an impeachable offense that could be proved in the Senate and have him impeached?
Well, high crimes and misdemeanors, I think, clearly covers this. Remember that the president has the power to fire prosecutors if he wants to. But here they were fired because they refused to abuse their power. The prosecutors were fired because they would not undertake political cases. They would not use the law to even and settle political scores. They were fired for that. Gonzales was the one who arranged and did the firing. And I think that a impeachment process would make that absolutely crystal clear, if it isn't already clear, from his devastating testimony in front of the Senate and in front of the House.
Those are all accusations, though, that has not been proven at all. Even with today, with the testimony today, we aren't really getting any new information about why those people were fired. And there's been a lot of accusations back and forth about questioning why that actually happened. But that is a really serious allegation. Do you actually think he could be impeached, or is this more just to get the message out?
No, I actually think he can. I mean, first of all, I was shocked at the amount of articles and editorials that have been written about impeachment. I saw a piece, Daily Kos had written about it, and Alternet had a piece about it, and I started poking around. I mean, there's lots of serious scholars who've been raising this, number one. And number two, the outburst we've had over 40,000 people sign a petition in 2 days. That's a staggering number of people who feel action should be taken. And I think that both, as you said, Republicans and Democrats, again, this is an issue of protecting the Constitution. It's an issue of checks and balances. That's why the Founding Fathers, who are much wiser than us, put in the impeachment possibility and put in impeachment for cabinet officers. It's to protect our checks and balance. And I believe it's certainly a very, very strong case of that, given what has gone on, again, in somebody whose job is to be our primary protector of laws.
Okay, I think a lot of people would argue with you on that
Yep.
one. You certainly do have a big hill to climb there, but it has only been up for a few days, and already a lot of people, as you said, have taken a look at it. So thanks so much for being with us today. Robert Greenwald, the director, and running the website impeachgonzales.org.